Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to take a look at this guy. This is Transformers Age of Extinction, Deluxe class, dinobot, Slug. Okay, a couple of things here, Uh, some people have complained that his name is changed to Slug and it is no longer Slag. Apparently that was done, I don't know if it was done for trademark reasons or if it was done because I've heard that slag is a not nice term in Britain. So they changed it for that. He's also this color. So we're going to take a look at what I've done to make him more G1. And we will get to him looking like this eventually. But we're not quite there yet. So we're going to start off looking at the regular retail release, and this is going to be the GotBot True Review of Transformers Deluxe Class Age of Extinction Slug. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for dropping by. This is your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot, and yeah, we're going to take a look at this guy. There's certainly some good and bad here. It's a decent rendition of Slug. Let's talk about his name first. Slug, rebranded as Slug, and a lot of people know him that way. To me, growing up, in the 80s, this was the dinobot. The Triceratops was known as Slag, and I guess to me he'll always be Slag. I understand why they done the name change, but years and years ago, when a young GotBot moved out on his own and got his first apartment, it wasn't a very good apartment, and inside, on the walls, and once in a spoon, there were slugs. And for those who don't know, a slug is basically like a snail without a shell. This guy does not look like a snail without a shell. This guy looks like he has a lot of spikes and horns and sharp bits. So to me, he doesn't really look like a slug. And because of nostalgia, I guess I'm always going to call him Slag, but I understand why they did the name change. And if you know him as Slug, then, great. Not a bad dino mode. You'll notice that there's a tail piece missing here. I'll get to that in a bit. Not a bad dino mode. It looks like a Triceratops, a mechanized Triceratops, but it looks like a Triceratops. The weapon storage is terrible. He comes with these two swords, and they're soft, rubbery plastic. They bend pretty easily. And there are holes here on the side, and his fists basically fit around that hole, and you're supposed to take this, and I don't even know if I have the fist line up. There you go. Stick that in the side, and you're supposed to take this one and put it in the... Is this going to go in? Because it's a little hit or miss sometimes if it's actually going to fit in there. That's supposed to go in on that side, and boom, here you go. You have a Triceratops with swords on the side. Ridiculous weapon storage, but there's an alternate way to store these weapons. We'll get into that a little bit later. This is not my version of the figure. This belongs to Starscream's girlfriend, Scraplets, and as always, when I get one of their figures to use, I thank them for letting me use it. This tail piece that's supposed to be back here has been sheared off, broken off. It's supposed to just flip up. It's on a little hinge. I will show you what it's supposed to look like before we get into the detail of this guy. It's supposed to look like this, and it can flip up like this. It is also soft, rubbery plastic, and my guess is because it's soft, rubbery plastic, it was easy for them to just accidentally break it off. Does it hurt the figure? Not really. I mean, he doesn't have his tail, which, that sort of stinks, but besides that, transformation, everything is still the exact same. He's still fine. This guy has a lot of red accents. He has beautiful eyes, excellent head sculpt. The jaw, opens and closes, and there's silver detailing, and there's purple around. So as always, we're going to measure this guy by our usual standards of paint apps, posability, playability, and transformation. So paint apps for the retail release. I get why they done the purple. He stands out more on a shelf, and this is the way he comes in package. You know, I understand why they did this. But I don't think he was bright purple and red in the movie. So, I don't know. Paint apps, a 4 for accuracy, I guess. But I love that head sculpt. Beautiful, beautiful head sculpt. By the way, his horns, they're soft, rubbery plastic, and his jaw down here, the whole thing, and these little horns, that's all soft, rubbery plastic. A lot of soft, rubbery plastic on this guy. But I get why, because again, there could be a lot of sharp bits. The places that are hard plastic, like on his legs and these up here, I mean, they're not really sharp. They're a little more rounded off. You know, I don't think you're going to really hurt yourself on him. Now, posability otherwise, in this mode, besides for the mouth opening, you know, you get the knees here sort of bend, and nothing really at the back. The toes kind of bend, but that's about it. I liked the rendition. I understood why they did it, and I wanted him to look more G1 accurate. So, in dinosaur mode, I did this. Now again, I am no professional customizer. If you're looking at this and thinking, wow, like I'd like to have a G1 style Slug / Slag, and I don't know if I could do all that. Look, I just went and picked up some paint pens, a pack for $11, and the truth of the matter is, if I can do this, you can do this. You basically take the paint pen, and sometimes you'll have to use a small brush. If you don't have one, you can pick one up, you know, at a dollar store near you. And basically you start trying to cover in all the purple as much as you can. You cover in the purple on the sides. I find it's good to use the paint pen. If it has a chisel head, even better, because you can get a little more detail. And then spread it around with the brush. Silver is a color that's very hard to cure. I use painter's paint pens, and I find that the silver cures pretty good with those. But, you know, buyer beware. On the head, you know, well, you know, if we look at the body, you can see the purple has been basically changed to silver. The head, I know I don't have as completely accurate, because I know that this section around here should be all whitish, another grayish silver. But again, I wasn't going for, I guess, complete accuracy, because I loved the eyes. I loved the, you know, you look at this head sculpt, the detailing of the red with the purple sections in it. I liked the look of it, so I decided to kind of try and keep that, and that's what I did. So I covered in the purple with the gold, and tried to keep the eyes as is. It is you know, if I had to do the paint apps for this guy, being, you know, again, G1 accurate, I would give him about a 9, because I did take a couple of creative liberties. But, like I said, I'm not a professional customizer. I could have done more accurate, but I like the look of this, so I left it. You know, which one do you like better? You know, I'm going for a G1 look, so I like this one better. So, paint apps, overall, you know, not the best. They're a little eh. Posability in both modes, I've already kind of gone through here. I will go through it when we get him in robot mode. Posability is pretty good for this guy. I would say overall about an 8. Overall, his posability is about an 8 for, you know, this version or my custom version. And you know, so far we've looked at Grimlock, where I didn't use the AoE Grimlock. I used the FOC Grimlock with a little bit of customization. We looked at Slug with a little bit of customization, because they didn't need a lot. I looked at Strafe, my representation of Swoop. He had a little bit more customization, but I still kept a lot of base colors. This guy had a lot. This guy took a while to do and a while to dry. But I think that it looks a lot better. I talked about the alternate weapon storage, and I'm going to show it on this guy. You could put them in the sides, and I believe I have to give credit here to Javatronia Reviews for this alternate weapon storage, where there are spaces in the back here, and you can take the you know, there's two ways actually. You can take the swords and place them up there. They come out the back. They kind of stick up high that way, but it works. You could also take them out of right there, and the spaces for that are behind his feet. Or you could take them and place them, let's see here. How did I do this? Here. And, oh, there and there, basically. Wait now. Wait a second here, folks. They're in there, and can I do this one now? This gets a little bit, I guess we'll call it fiddly because of where I'm trying to put them. There, one there, and this one on this side doesn't really want to stay. They don't want to really stay in today. Usually they stay in better than what they're staying in today, but for our purposes, there, you can put them in like that, and it kind of mimics the tail a little bit better. It's better than having it stuck out on the side, I think, like that. You just stick them in right there. There are, long story short, there are spaces on the back where they can go stuck in. And it comes out and kind of mimics part of his tail. So we're going to lay this guy aside, and I'm going to show the transformation with this guy. Actually, I guess I'll show this part on this guy. The tail flips up on the back like that. That will be step number one. So when we take the retail version, we flip the tail up on the back like that. It might even help you to flip that whole section up out of the way. I haven't really discovered a real reason for this being able to flip up other than to kind of get out of the way and make life easy. So we'll do his legs first because that's the easiest section to do. You flip out his feet. This will be his robot mode feet right there. You flip down the leg, and as you do so, you're going to push the dinosaur toes forward, and you can flip them all the way down like a kneecap. And same over here. Dinosaur toes forward, and we flip it down like a kneecap, and there's his lower body done. He looks, you know, he looks pretty good there, and he stands really well. So we're going to move to the upper body. And the upper body is a little more tricky because things like to bang together. I find it's probably best to unpeg his body halves and actually swing them out. There's a little hole up here, right here next to my finger, and there's a little tab on the arm here, and that pegs in there in dinosaur mode. You just pull it out and pull it down for robot mode. Now that you have these pieces of his body down, what do? I find it's good to flip out his fist, which is up inside the body cavity, and close the forearm. In case you didn't see that, I'm going to try and show it better on this side. The fist is up inside the body cavity. Turn that down and out, and then close up the body cavity. Now you have these arms here, and they're just sort of laying there, and you're like, wait, don't they have to go to the side? Sure they do. The head splits down the middle. Be careful splitting the head, not because of the upper section, but because of the lower jaw where it is soft rubbery plastic. Be gentle with splitting the head would be my advice to you. And you'll see I'm kind of being very strategic with it. And it's only because of that soft rubbery plastic. Once you have the head split, you can put the arms out to the side, like so. Take these flaps and fold them down, like so. And now you have these dinosaur legs on the back. This flap that we had up, you can now push that down because we need to deal with these dinosaur legs. Some people deal with them earlier. I find that if you deal with them earlier, they're going to bang a lot. Push the arms kind of forward just to give you room to work. What do we do with these? You take this one and you swing it around. The reason that it becomes difficult sometimes is because this silver section likes to bang into the head crest section. So you swing that around. On the other side, you'll do the same thing. You swing it around. And you'll notice I didn't bang it there because I waited and done it at the end after splitting the head. We can spread out the arms and spread out the body a little bit more. And now, there's a little tab right here behind my finger. Right here behind my finger. A little tab that I'm hitting on with my finger. That tab will go into a slot here on the side, like so, and it will go into a slot on this side, like so, and that kind of locks the dinosaur legs in place. We put down those arms, we make sure he is all spread apart, like so. And in the end, do I have everything done? I think so. And in the end, there we have Slug in robot mode. How does he compare with a modern day Deluxe? Well, here's Off-Road, our good friend Off-Road, to help us out. And, you know, again, they scale, I guess, fine. I mean, as far as Deluxes go. A lot of people think the dinobots should be bigger, and there have been upscaled KO Voyager versions. Hey, if you like that, go for it. They're not, you know, they're not bad figures at all. They have really pretty much the same paint apps and the same transformation, just bigger. What else can I say about this guy? Well, the posability, playability, you know, the arms bend up, the elbows are about that far, the wrists, you know, can bend in and out. This guy does not have the gorilla arms. He does have a bicep swivel. You know, the arms go forward, they go back. Obviously, they can't go all the way around because of the dinosaur heads on his shoulders. The head itself, nice head sculpt. Looks like a knight, as a lot of these do. It looks down, and it looks up, and it can go left a little bit, and it can go right a little bit. There's a waist joint, so that's nice. The legs go all the way out. The legs go all the way, well, they can go all the way back. If you push this piece up, they can go all the way back. The knees are strange. You have a knee bend to, you know, about there. I guess it's 90 degrees, but because of transformation, you kind of get a secondary knee bend. It looks weird, but the knees technically can go way back. And the toes go forward and back, no side to side. Overall, his posability, playability, I feel like he's pretty sturdy. I don't feel like I'm going to do anything to him. Oh, and I guess I'll show this. You know, the swords can go in his hand, and the sword can go in his hand like so. Posability, playability for this guy, overall, I'd say it's about an 8. It's good. It's good. He's pretty solid. You would think that you're going to knock a lot of stuff around. I don't find that you do. Posability, playability for this guy, again, you know, it's about an 8. So overall, for the regular retail version, I'm going to give it a 7.5. A 7.5 because the posability is fine, the transformation, not too bad. A little fiddly, you know, with these legs if you don't do them at the right time. But the color is just way off. So overall, he's about a 7.5. Pretty good score. Now, I'm going to take a second. I'm going to get my custom one in robot mode. We already looked at them in dinosaur mode. And we'll see how they compare in robot mode. So give me a second and I will be right back with this guy in robot mode. And we are back, and I will lay the retail version a little bit to the side and bang, bring in my custom, you know, G1 Slag inspired version of Age of Extinction Slug. So again, you see a lot of the silver covering the body, done again with, paint pens, a little bit of a small paintbrush, and honestly, sometimes a little bit of a toothpick worked for me. Legs, of course, are silver. Arms are silver. Um, the chest, I added a little bit of red detail. The head, instead of being purple, is now a red color. I left the silver up top. Some people would say, hey, this guy has a black head. In toy he did. In the show, if I'm not mistaken, his head was red. The dino head is up on his shoulders. This is part of the reason why I left the red and gold as I did. Because if I had done the, area around his head all silver, it would be a lot of jarring silver on this guy completely. So I kind of like the breakup of seeing all three of those main Dinobot colors. So again, I think the paint apps on this guy are a lot better. I mean, here he is from the side. Here he is from the back. And I didn't do anything with the gunmetal gray because I love it. And this side. And here we go with the front again. I love how this guy turned out. There's not a pile of chrome, which I'm not always a fan of because I'm afraid it's going to chip off. Naturally, time to time you have to add a little bit of detail here because your fingers and the acidity in your hands are going to sometimes rub off some of the paint. But I'm telling you, the trick is to find a silver paint pen that will work wonders. So, if this guy was wow, tipping these guys over a lot. Butterfingers today. If this guy's a 7.5, the regular retail version, because of the additional paint apps that I did and the custom job that I did, I now feel like this guy's up to a 9. A 9. Not a 10, because again, he's not, the paint isn't perfect. He is that stylized Age of Extinction look, not a G1 look. But you know what? For something that was affordable, that didn't cost $100, for something I could do myself, that you too can do yourself, I think he turned out pretty good. Let me know what you think. So in a second now, I'm going to get the other Dinobots. We're going to see how our group is coming together so far in Dino mode. By the way, some people have wondered, well, why aren't you showing them all together in robot mode? I will, when we get to the end of this series, I'll show them all together in Dino mode, all together in robot mode, so that you can see the whole group. So we're going to take this guy out of it. Good figure. And I'm going to get this guy back into dinosaur mode, and we will show him with his brethren so far. Give me just a moment and we will be back. Yoink. Okay, we're back with him now in Dino mode again, just like that. And I suppose now would be a good time actually for me to add the swords again. In like so, and in like so, and in like, because there's so many places back here to be able to put these things. In like so and in like so. Makes it look more, more like a tail. So there is Age of Extinction Slug, and here is his buddy, his pal, Strafe or Swoop, if you will. And here is Slug, or Sludge, if you will. And here is the leader of the Dinobots, so far for me, Grimlock. And that's the, here's the group so far. Here are 4 of the, original dinobots so far. So in the next video, we're going to take a look at another guy who was a pretty major customized difference, and that is going to be Transformers Age of Extinction Snarl. Thanks for watching. Hopefully so far you're getting some ideas of your own to, to idealize and customize your Age of Extinction Dinobots. And I will see you next time we meet for a visit inside the videos. Thanks for watching.